Hey fam, welcome back to the channel. As you can see by the title, today's gonna be another ingredient meal prep to make sure I stay on track throughout the week. If you're new here, welcome. My name is DeeDee. My channel is all about my weight loss journey, habits that I'm building that fit into real life and help me maintain this weight loss, and also me sharing my meal preps and any recipes that I'm eating throughout the day and what I eat in a day videos or travel vlogs, just to help some of you out there that are on a similar journey like me. So today's meal prep is another ingredient prep that I can actually mix and match meals throughout the week. And on our menu today, we have some juicy oven-baked chicken drumsticks. Y'all already know, if you saw my last grocery haul, I got those things on sale. We also have some tender and delicious meatballs, y'all. Very much so budget friendly. And the last protein for this week is some sauteed garlic butter shrimp, okay? And for our veggies, we have some roasted bell peppers and onions, along with some zucchini blend slices. And our starch for the week is some sweet potatoes. All right, fam, don't forget to stay tuned to the end. I'll share with you how I'm planning on mixing and matching these meals. But as of right now, let's jump right into this meal prep. I'm starting off with the chicken drumsticks first because these are what take the longest to cook. And if you've seen me cook drumsticks before on my channel, then you already know what I'm doing. I always cut these little slits into the drumsticks. Now what I'm doing is looking for the thickest part of the chicken leg and then just cutting a slit down into it. Nothing too deep. Now the goal is to make sure that all the seasoning really gets down into the chicken instead of just sitting on the surface. And for me, this makes a difference in flavor with just this little step. Okay, so now it's time for the seasoning. You already know what I have in my staple seasonings jar. It's garlic powder, onion powder, Creole seasoning, black pepper, and a little bit of paprika. You can definitely use whatever seasonings that fit your taste buds, but for me, this combo right here never fails. I've seasoned both sides really well, and now I'm just rubbing everything all over the chicken, and I'm making sure I'm getting that seasoning into those little slits that I cut, because that is where the flavor really gets infused. So I'm done with that part, and now it's time for us to add the veggies. You already know how I feel about the bell peppers and the onions, okay? Today I'm using red, green, and yellow bell pepper. I'm also chopping up a little bit of green onion and about half a yellow onion. These veggies really add flavor when they cook down into that broth and the seasoning. So now I'm just layering all the bell peppers, onions right on top of the chicken. And I'm also adding 1 cup of chicken broth and 1 cup of water into the sides of the pan. That's gonna keep the chicken juicy. The oven has been preheating on 375 degrees, and the total cook time is about an hour. It's been about 30 minutes, so we're gonna check on the chicken. This is what it looks like so far. The smell in this kitchen already smells amazing. And now it's time to flip these drumsticks so that everything cooks evenly. I'm also gonna add just a little bit of extra paprika on top for color, because you already know I love a nicely browned piece of chicken. Now it's going right back into the oven for about 25 more minutes. While the chicken is cooking, it's time to move on to our next protein, which is the meatballs. Today I'm using 80-20 ground beef mixed with pork sausage. This combination right here makes me some juicy meatballs. Now, before I fully mix everything together, I like breaking up the meat apart first because it just makes it easier for everything to combine later. I'm adding a little bit of minced garlic. I'm also grating some of that onion and putting that in there. I love the flavor of onion. I just didn't want big chunks of onion. I'm adding some Italian seasoning, some red cayenne pepper as well, some of my staple seasonings, 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of Italian breadcrumbs, a little bit of a Worcestershire sauce, and some heavy cream. Yes, the heavy cream for me makes a difference. It helps keep the meatballs nice and tender. And all I'm doing here is just folding everything together, trying not to overmix, because sometimes overmixing can make your meatballs kind of tough. So once the consistency feels just right for me, I know it's ready. So you already know me. I'm gonna line it with aluminum foil because I love easy cleanup. I also sprayed a little bit of olive oil on the pan, and I'm using an ice cream scooper so that the meatballs can all be close to the same size. And today we are making large and in charge meatballs, okay? Those 2 pounds gave me about 12 nice size meatballs for the week, and I'm loving that. The oven has been preheated to 400 degrees, and these are going in for about 20 to 25 minutes. It's time to check back on that chicken. The chicken is looking good. It is fully cooked. And I've actually just been broiling it about 2 to 3 minutes on that one side. So now I'm just flipping everything over so the other side can brown nicely as well. The timer just went off for the meatballs, and y'all, this cooked quick. Look at these, crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside. And if you're ever unsure whether your meat is fully cooked, just use a thermometer. I'm checking the biggest meatball, and we want it between 160 to 165. Well, this one is at 171, so I am good. All right, it's time to take out that chicken. Wow. Look at that color, y'all. Nicely browned on both sides, and all those peppers and onions cooked down into that broth. The smell in this kitchen is amazing. I'm placing this to the side, and we are moving on to our veggies. I'm using the same method I did in my last meal prep, where I placed the frozen veggies directly onto that sheet pan, and then I roasted them. That worked really well with the broccoli last time, so I'm trying it again. I love frozen veggies because they are so convenient, but you definitely have to break them up sometimes, okay? Today I'm roasting some bell peppers and onions and some zucchini slices. I'm placing both trays into the oven at 400 degrees for about 20 minutes. Now, while the veggies are cooking, it's time for me to get started on my sweet potatoes. I got 2 nice sized sweet potatoes today. And the first thing I did was just cut off the ends. For me, that makes it easier to peel and cut them evenly. Now I'm peeling the skin. You can absolutely leave the skin on, but I personally prefer mine peeled. I have not had sweet potato or any type of potato, y'all, for a while. As you know, I've been on low carb, but I'm actually excited to give these a try because I do know that sweet potatoes are definitely good carbs. Now I'm just chopping these up into cubes. I'm trying my best to keep them around the same size so that they cook evenly. Some are a little bigger and some are a little smaller, but that's okay. Now I'm adding a little bit of olive oil and of course my staple seasonings. And then I'm just gonna mix everything together really well so that every cube has some seasoning and some olive oil. I have already preheated my air fryer for about 3 minutes so far, and I have it set to 400 degrees. So now we're gonna head over to the air fryer. And originally I was thinking about just using only one basket, but I wanted these sweet potatoes to have room to breathe so that they can crisp up properly. So today we are using both baskets. I have it set to 12 minutes for now, just to start off, and then we'll check back on it to see if we need more time. The veggies have been cooking for about 20 minutes now. Let's check them out. Okay, the peppers and the onions are looking good. The zucchini slices are looking a little softer than I wanted. So next time, y'all, I may just saute them instead, but trust me, they will still get eaten up. I'm just checking them out with this spoon, spreading them out some more, and then adding a little bit of olive oil and also adding my staple seasonings just to make sure everything has flavor. Then I'm just gonna mix everything together. I'm trying to find that happy medium or that happy timing where the zucchini slices don't get too soft or too mushy and everything kind of crisps up in the oven. So I'm gonna place these 2 trays right back in that oven for another 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to check out what they look like. It's the halfway mark for these sweet potatoes, y'all. I'm giving the baskets a little shake, shake, shake. The sweet potatoes are looking nice so far, but we're gonna let them continue cooking. And the timer has gone off. I did add 2 extra minutes, so these cooked for a total of 14 minutes. Now, I always do a fork test, especially on one of the bigger cubes, and when the fork slides right in, I know I'm in there. Look at these sweet potato cubes. Nice, crispy edges and soft on the inside. These smell so good. Now it's time for us to take those veggies out. The peppers and the onions smell so good and they look amazing. And this is what our zucchini blend slices look like right now. I'm gonna place these to the side and it's time for us to work on our last protein, which is some shrimp. Y'all already know I love me some seafood. I added some olive oil, my staple seasonings, some red cayenne pepper, and some paprika for color, and I'm just mixing everything together. Now, originally I was thinking garlic butter shrimp, but this turned into a Cajun garlic butter shrimp really quick. I already have my butter and a little bit of minced garlic heating up on the skillet, and now I'm just placing the shrimp in one layer, just so everything cooks evenly. Now, shrimp cooks really fast, and I love doing this approach. I have a couple of different approaches that I take with shrimp. Sometimes I boil it just for a little bit, and then I saute it on the stove. But today, I'm taking an approach that's super quick as well. This takes about 2 to 3 minutes on each side, and you are good. So as soon as I see that shrimp go from pink to opaque, then I already know that we are close. And it's time to flip that shrimp. So this is definitely a quick meal that you can make. If you want, you can add some crab meat. You can add like a veggie stir fry. You can basically do everything with shrimp. You can make yourself a shrimp salad. These shrimps are so versatile and they taste amazing. It's been about 3 minutes and the shrimp is complete. Look at that shrimp. Nicely browned on both sides. And here is the final lineup for the week. Of course, we have our sauteed garlic buttery Cajun shrimp. We also have our juicy oven baked meatballs. I can't wait to take a bite of that. We have our oven baked chicken drumsticks with our peppers, our onions, and our broth that created a nice thick gravy. For our veggies, we have our roasted peppers and onions. We also have our roasted zucchini blend slices. And as far as our starch for the week, we have our crispy sweet potato cubes. I have been loving how my food has been tasting, y'all. I love the fact that I'm able to mix and match. And I also know that these meals are gonna help me stay consistent while I'm on this journey to health. Fam, our meal prep is complete for the week. And I'm gonna be honest, y'all, I had to grab one of these shrimps, so this will just be a taste test, okay? That shrimp has the right amount of spice to it. Y'all know I like a little spice in my life, kind of like a little Cajun shrimp, and the seasoning is on point. It also has that little buttery sauce on it. Y'all, I gotta make sure I leave that for the meal prep. Leave it for the meal prep. All right, let's talk about our mix and match meals. We'll start with the shrimp. Y'all, I was thinking maybe like a shrimp bowl. I could add like a little bit of lettuce to it, some avocado, a little bit of those veggies, the bell peppers and the onions, and y'all, I could be good to go. Or I could just use the shrimp with the veggies with a little bit of the sweet potato, or just the shrimp by itself. All of the protein that I made today, I can really eat by itself. The meatballs, the chicken, or the shrimp. But for the meatballs specifically, I was thinking I can get some of that G. Hughes sugar-free barbecue sauce and make like a little bit of a marinade, like a Swedish meatball. Or I can put marinara on it and put a little bit on some whole grain pasta. Or I can eat the meatballs by itself, y'all, or make a meatball sandwich. It is what it is. I can also pair the meatballs with the veggies that I made today. And as far as that chicken, baby, that juicy, tender chicken, I can definitely place the veggies on the side, the bell peppers and the onions, or the little bit of zucchini, or I can eat it by itself, or I can actually pair it and make a little protein bowl. I can even add a side salad to the side of that with some avocado. Y'all, I can mix and match all day. And that's why I love the ingredient prep, because I don't get bored whatsoever. And I can mix and match my meals, add whatever I have in the kitchen or whatever I used in my meal prep. Now let me know, is there any protein that stuck out to you today that you'd like to make in your kitchen out of the oven baked chicken, the oven baked meatballs, or the sauteed buttery shrimp? Let me know down below. And of course, you know I want to know what you're making on your meal prep. So if you are meal prepping or ingredient prepping for the week, let your sister know down below what's on your menu. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.